Now we're coming up to the restaurant here. It's called the Sierra Mar. This beautiful sculpture.
Good morning. We're here at Sierra Mar at the Post Ranch in Big Sur, and one of the nice things is the breakfast is a buffet style. It's included with your room, and everything here is organic or sustainably grown. They have two wonderful gardens, and so a lot of the herbage and the salads and things of that nature come from there. All the breads, the muffins are baked on the property, and if you happen to be gluten-free, and a lot of people are, they bake their own gluten-free bread here, so that's a real luxury. It's a LuxEco luxury, actually. We'll be back. Stay with us. I have been treated to the 9-course sampling dinner tonight, and all I can tell you is I feel like a museum.
Thank you very much.
You are extraordinary. You are so gifted in terms of presentation, combination, flavors. Where did this passion come from?
Wow, it's for me, it's just my interpretation of Big Sur. I really, I fell in love with Big Sur when I first came here 10 years ago, and coming back about 6 months ago, I've really been able to kind of re-explore all these ingredients that I knew, but coming back as a chef.
Foraging with you.
Yes.
In other words, the herb course, which was so beautiful, so beautifully presented, just very little stems of each of these accent flavors. And when you tasted that, you got a feeling of the robustness of everything that is so natural and home to your closer. The fish courses were exquisite, and your presentation, I mean, just amazing. I was told you do some of your work with tweezers.
We do. We all have tweezers, little forceps. And it's just because for placing the herbs, it really works a lot better than anything else.
Summertime. One in particular, this really interested me because it was a sweet taste as opposed to savory. Was that dipped in egg white?
It's actually a meringue. So we use candy cat mushrooms.
Okay. The little white ones.
Yes. So it's actually the candy cat mushroom is a tiny brown mushroom, and it grows only in this area.
Okay.
It smells like maple syrup or cinnamon, and they're extremely rare. So we get them for about a week out of the year. We dry them, and we make this meringue using just egg whites, the candy cat mushroom powder, and a tiny bit of dextrose, which is like a less sweet sugar. And we make these little mushrooms.
And you bake that.
Exactly. So
for a very long time until it becomes
And then if you look up here at our spice cabinet,
oh my goodness,
we're actually
spices.
We don't really do too much in the way of molecular gastronomy.
Right.
But what we use for the yolk is simply a derivative of seaweed.
Okay.
And when it comes in contact with calcium, it forms a paper thin film.
Was the bread with the lardo.
Right.
That was divine.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite courses. It took months of research. Acorns were a staple food of the Native Americans, the Ohlone in this area, and really in the last 100 years, it's completely fallen off. It's so time intensive to pick the acorns and shell them and leach them. And I found one lady who actually does this in a traditional fashion in the Bay Area. She gets all of the Northern California acorns and hand mills them and sends us fresh milled flour.
So you have the flour on which, but you actually have little tiny chunks of the acorn in the bread.
Yes.
Oh, it was my joy. But I've never seen anybody lock up their knives.
It's probably a little bit overkill, but it's
for
just
good reason.
And we travel with our knives. It's really our livelihood. So
yeah, this is your art form. Oh my
it's an investment. So
look at this. Now this looks like some sort of a peeler.
Yeah, they range.
Peeler scraper.
They range all the way up. This is my steel. These are knives I got right out of culinary school. They're Ninox, Japanese. They look very, very simple, but I love them.
Okay. Now would that be a knife you would have used to create
sure.
caviar?
Probably more like this. This is another Ninox, but it's a petty knife.
Okay.
So
petty meaning petty four.
Or just a petty is kind of small. It's like a crossing a paring knife and normal stuff. I love this knife.
Are these stainless?
Oh man, what kind? Yes, they are stainless. But it's a mix of the Japanese steel. It's really, really hard, so it holds an edge. And then you do them on a 12,000 grit stone, so they get that mirror college. And
How do
then,
you feel about the ceramic Japanese knives?
I think for home they're great.
Okay.
Just for the professional kitchen, if you drop them, they can crack.
Well, I've
And,
lost all
like
the
Jacob's
tips.
knives need more than mine are. So I'll let Jacob. He's my chef de cuisine. Jacob
Oh, are
Polarski.
you the one that made the little caviar sandwich?
It's almost like a very, very light, I call it, pardon the expression, intercourse, but it is. It's going to accompany a phenomenal dessert, but it's the lightest of light Meyer lemon. It's almost like a egg white, but it's so delicious.
This is
So these are the cheeses that are local here in Big Sur. This is just a chipotle onion and a little bit of pumpkin. But as you can see, this is so beautifully presented. And then, of course, I mean, we've gone through 6 courses.
Premier with the sweet potato puree at the bottom. You also have meringue, and then you have the log from our actual land here in Big Sur, and then he just lightly chars it, and that infuses the whole dessert with a smoky flavor.
Wow, what a smart thing. Is he using some sort of a torch?
He does
He
use
used the torch,
end.
like the way you'd use to make a brulee.
Exactly.
And so that basically that
I
fuses
can't
what
thank
it
you enough,
is.
John. This is amazing. And you have been behind the scenes tonight at LuxEcoliving, and we're at the Coast